education is central to everything that the Jewish people stand for. The reason Israel looks the way it looks is because we spent 80 years focusing on how to build an amazing country. It's because they spent 80 years trying to destroy a country. It's not affecting me.
One of my former students who's now at university, he and I were having coffee, and I said to him, "Why do you think it's not working?" And he's only 19, but he said to me, "I think the world's not ready for this Jew." I said, "What do you mean the world's not ready for this Jew?" And he said, "You see, Israel is unprecedented. Israel is, in this world," he said, "we lionize, we rally around victimhood. We want to celebrate victims and underdog. And Israel is the story of saying we've transcended, we're no longer victims. And the world doesn't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with that. They're not ready for that."
Yeah, first of all, he's a very smart student. Whoever he is, very, very well put. But yeah, I think, it's like he said, it's the transfer. Like the way I see it is throughout our history, they bullied us constantly. I think we need to just stop letting them bully us and stand up for ourselves. And, this war is just a perfect kind of manifestation of that. We are on the right side of history, and we need to start owning that and say, it's like funny. You hear officials in the State Department say Israel needs to handle Gaza like America handled Japan. The reason the Jewish people are so successful is not because our DNA is better than anyone else. It's because our culture and our heritage and our tradition focuses on the family unit, focuses on unity, focuses on education, things that are today taboo, basically, in the West. Education is central to everything that the Jewish people stand for. And that makes us the amazing, someone said, the reason Israel looks the way it looks is because we spent 80 years focusing on how to build an amazing country. And the reason they look, as in Gaza, as in the Palestinians, look the way they look is because they spent 80 years trying to destroy a country. We focus on building. They focus on destroying. There is nothing to be ashamed about. We just need to own it. And people are scared. I get it.
Right. And so it makes me think that all these strategies, these one-pagers, here's a one-pager. When they tell you Israel is an apartheid, this is everything you need to know. And the truth of the matter is, no, you just go, "I'm sorry you have a problem with Israel. That's a you problem. Sorry, F off." Really. That's a blood libel. That's a genocide libel. That's an apartheid libel. I'm not engaging. You have a problem. Most people want to live their life, without any accountability. And what do the Jews bring? Accountability. Nobody wants that. Actually, and this is when I want to talk about one of your posts. The post began with, "I'm going to make another prediction," and it's a terrible one. And basically, you talked about that the anti-Semitism has we're at an inflection point. The anti-Semitism in the diaspora has reached such a point. We are getting beat up on the streets, though. We are actually. It's no longer just diplomatic, demonization. If I understood your post correctly, so you correct me if I'm wrong here, is you're basically saying we're at this critical point where if we don't leave, it's bad news. Are you saying we need to leave? Because let's talk about that.
I'm not saying that. I interviewed my great aunt. Her name is Alva Kay. She's approaching 100. She survived not one, not two, but 3 death camps in the Holocaust. 3. The interview's on YouTube. You can watch it if you don't believe what I'm about to tell you. I asked her a simple question. You saw the anti-Semitism pre-Holocaust in Europe, and you've seen what's happening today. How do they compare? She said 2 words: the same. That's it, the same. So it's not me saying it. And I'll tell you furthermore, like if I had said to you or any of our Jewish brothers and sisters, I would have said to you, there's going to be anti-Semites in Congress. Synagogues are going to be vandalized. Windows are going to be shattered. Jewish businesses are going to be boycotted and shut down. Jews are going to be assaulted on the streets of the United States of America. Jews are going to be burned alive on the streets of the United States of America. Okay. Anti-Semitism is going to become all but institutionalized, where people are walking on the streets of America holding terror flags and the cops are standing by doing nothing about it. And I understand several rabbis wrote responses to that post saying, "Who does Hillel think he is, a prophet?" So in the post, I wrote, I'm not a prophet, but I did, quote unquote, I don't want to say predict, but on October 5th, 2023, I wrote a post that something big's about to happen. Like, that's a fact. You can go verify that. I wrote something big's about to happen because look what's going on geopolitically. And I wrote in the post, Israel will be at the center of it. Now, am I a prophet? No, I'm not a prophet. Look at what's going on around you. It's like, it's all happened. It's happening before our eyes. And we're like, nah, it doesn't affect me. I won't get, dude, wake up. It's only going to get worse. And spoiler, what happens next is that empire falls. So the West has been good to my family, and I hope I'm wrong, but if somehow miraculously this doesn't reverse, then the West is, in my opinion, a decade away from falling to radical Islam. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's
no,
wild to see what's unfold.
The truth of the matter is, I'll bear my cards, if you will. I completely agree with you, but I have friends who were very upset at that post, and I was saying, one person said to me, I don't, this is fear tactics. These are alarmists. And I said, exactly, we went through that same kind of argument step by step. And then she said, well, I think that people should go to Israel because they are pulled towards Israel, not pushed from. And I said, right, in an ideal world, you're right, because Israel is our destiny. That is true.
100%. 100%.
But we don't live in an ideal world.
Right.
And ask the Jews in France who decided to immigrate due to intense anti-Semitism. Are they happy they did it? Hell yeah, they're happy.
That's right. You absolutely should come to Israel. I mean, Israel, with all the challenges, they're not small challenges, and no one's denying October 7th or the war. With all of that, Israel's a paradise. Like, legitimately, I speak to people every single day without exceptions who are visiting or just made Aliyah. I ask them the same question. How do you feel? How do you feel here? Not literally 100% of them say the same thing. It's like they're in sync with each other. They all say the same thing. I feel infinitely safer here than I do there. And there could be LA, it could be London, it could be Sydney, it could be anywhere. Okay. So yes, there's a lot to run to. Israel's an incredible country. We named some of its accomplishments before. Israel is a miraculous country in the traditional sense of this is a miracle that this country exists, let alone lead the world. So there's a lot to run to. But clearly that didn't work. And so we need a catalyst. We need a trigger that will get you to run to, and that is anti-Semitism.
I do think the anti-Semitism is going to get much, much worse, and to a level that we haven't yet seen.
I got to be honest with you. I got to tell you something. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say, I have a problem with, I want to be careful with my words. I don't want to say the word hypocrisy or dishonesty because I don't want to say that about my brothers and sisters, but like, are you really being honest? Not you. I'm not attacking you. I'm saying, like, when I speak to my friends, are you really being honest with yourself? Because I speak to my friends and they say, yeah, it's not affecting me. The anti-Semitism is not affecting me. I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean it's not affecting you? You mean a family member hasn't been murdered yet? Because if you get in a car and you drive for 30 seconds, you'll be attacked. You'll be at the very least harassed, if not actually assaulted. And if you're in a pro-Israel, you'll get burned alive on the streets. So what do you mean it doesn't affect you? What would be considered affecting you? So my question is, what does? What does? At what point will you say, I need to get the hell out of here? This is dangerous for my children, for me. I cannot stay here anymore. I don't know what they're waiting for. Honestly, really, truly. They're kind of like idolizing, glorifying their life, even though it's no longer what it was. And it's very, very clear that they're no longer home and they're no longer welcome. But they're not getting the picture. They're not getting the message.